Hi guys! So today I'm back with a new video and I'm kind of excited for it because it's a video that is basically based around the biggest change that's happened since my last video, and for those of you who are reading the title, it is going to be all about my hair. Clearly I am a blonde now, and the last time that you guys would have seen me I was more of like a light brown. So I do get questions about my hair literally almost every single day on all of my social media accounts. Almost every single time I post a picture on Instagram or anything, somebody asks me about my hair, and I do get tweets about it all the time too, so I figured that I should just put together one big video answering all of your guys' hair questions, and that way you guys can just take this information and use it as you please. So with that being said, if you're not interested in hearing all about my hair, I won't be offended if you don't want to watch this video or anything. It is definitely for those people who wonder about my hair and ask me those types of questions. So if you are interested in hearing all about it, then just stay tuned because I'm just going to jump right into it. Basically, I was born with kind of ashy, dirty blonde hair, kind of a really mousy, brownish blonde color. In the summers, it would always go blonde if I was out in the sun a lot, but in the winters, when it was dark, it was kind of like just a really flat color. And the texture of it naturally is wavy, so I don't have like an actual defined curl, and it's not pin straight like I wear it. It kind of just has like big stubborn waves, and it's almost borderline frizzy, if that makes sense. So it does get kind of like those little flyaway hairs all down it, which is why I like to straighten it, just because that helps to tame those and make my hair look more sleek, I guess. So you guys can see what it was like when I was a kid. I was always told that my hair was really, really thick and hard to do, but that about sums up the natural texture and color of my hair. So when I go to the hairdresser, I always ask for a couple of key things, which makes them kind of better understand what I'm going for. The first thing that I always ask for is long blended layers. I do not like choppy layers, so I always specify that I want them to be blended together and long. I don't want them to start up here. I like them just to kind of start gradually about at my collarbone and then just feather their way down, I guess, if that makes sense. So long blended layers is the first thing that I always ask for. The second thing that I always ask for is face framing layers, which kind of goes along with what I just said. I always ask for the layers starting around my face to start shorter than the rest, so I always get them to be cut at about my collarbone. They are a little bit grown out now because my last cut was about 2 months ago, so they have grown out, which you guys will see in the pictures, but when I do get it first cut, I always ask them to start it at my collarbone. And then the third thing that I always ask for is for them to cut my hair from a center part so that it's even on both sides. And the reason that I ask them to do that is because, as you guys can see, I do wear my hair thrown over on one side, but I do like to kind of switch it up and just play with it. And this way I find that no matter which way I wear it, it's all even and just nicely blended, rather than having like shorter layers over here and longer ones over here. So I always just ask them to split it down the middle and then cut my layers that way, and then I find that that gives me like the most even and uniform cut. So just to quickly recap that for you guys, the three things that I always ask for at the hairdresser are long blended layers, face framing layers starting at my collarbone, and for them to cut it from a center part evenly on both sides. How I originally got this color was I box dyed it with a L'Oreal shade called 17 Fiji, or dark ash blonde. I did say this in an Instagram post one time, and I got a couple comments from some US followers saying that they couldn't find it in their stores, so I'm not sure if it is available in the US or not, but I am going to put a link to it or like a picture of it or something down below so that you guys can at least see what it is, because I know for a fact that I can buy it at the drugstores here in Canada, so maybe it is just a Canadian thing, I'm not quite sure. So that's the color that I used originally when I kind of started my transition into more of of a blonde. I did dye my hair with that about twice, I think, maybe 3 months apart from each other, just because I started to get my roots. And then what happened was I went to Mexico for 9 days, so I was out in the sun a lot, and I found that that was when my hair really started to lighten. It was just kind of naturally from the sun, so I didn't necessarily do anything to it, but it just kind of did it on its own from being out there so much. So I started to get a lot of questions around that time, and then I just kind of kept it where it was. And then I went to Hawaii for another 18 days, so I was in the sun once again constantly, and then salt water a lot, which I found bleached it out even more. So that's when it became like a fully blonde color, which is kind of funny because people always ask me like what color my hair is, but I don't have an answer because it just kind of did it on its own from being out in nature, I guess. However, now to keep up with my roots, because the rest of my hair is so blonde and my roots are still that ashy, mousy color, I do have to use something on them to just kind of lighten them up and make it more even. So what I use for that is this Easy Lights spray by Mark Anthony. It is just a flat iron spray that is supposed to add kind of natural highlights. I obviously don't use it for highlights, I use it just on my roots, and it is heat activated. So what you do is you just spray it in damp hair and then blow dry or straighten your hair, and then it just kind of lightens it up a little bit. So I just buy this at the drugstore. It's really easy for me to find, and it's so simple and so quick and such an easy way for me to kind of keep my roots the same color. I'm really glad that I found this product just because it's cheap and easy and so quick to use. So I definitely recommend that if you are a blonde. For my shampoo, I kind of use whatever I can find at the drugstore. I like to switch it up. I don't use high-end brands of any sort. I just kind of switch back and forth from Tresemme to whatever brand or whatever's on sale or whatever smells good. So right now I'm using a Garnier Fructis shampoo. This is Passion Splash. It says it's a fortifying shampoo for normal to dry hair. I really do like it. I find that it makes my hair feel really clean and soft and not dry or anything like that. I do try to buy anything that says it's specifically for dry hair because I do have on the more dry side of hair, I guess. And this was only like $4 at the drugstore, so it's perfect for me. I probably won't buy the same one again when it's done because I do like to kind of try new stuff every single time, but this is what I'm on right now. And then the conditioner that I'm using is also by the same brand. It's by Garnier, and it is a triple nutrition conditioner for dry, damaged hair. I love the way that these smell. They're really, really fruity, and like I said, they just make my hair really soft and clean feelings. They don't weigh it down or anything like that, so it works for me, and I like these two paired together. So that's what I'm using as my conditioner right now. The only other thing that I use when I wash my hair, which is actually the most important product, is purple shampoo. Now, since I have been a blonde, I found that if I do not use purple shampoo, my hair goes really brassy, which I don't like. So I find that using this when I wash my hair helps me keep a perfect balance with my blonde shade. I just find that it gives me like that natural ashier looking blonde rather than like a really orangey brassy blonde. So I just buy this at the drugstore. It's not very expensive and it's always in stock. And all I do is I wash my hair first one time with the Garnier shampoo, and then I use this right after, just really quickly, kind of like quickly scrub it, rinse it out, and then use my conditioner. So basically every time I wash my hair, I use 2 different shampoos and then 1 conditioner, but I only wash my hair about every 3 to 4 days, so basically like twice a week. I know some people probably think that's like weird or gross, but it works for my hair. I have my hair trained, for lack of better words, to function properly after only being washed every 3 to 4 days. I just find that since I've been doing that, my hair has been a lot healthier because it used to get so dried out from being washed every day or every second day. Your hair needs to produce natural oils, and when you're washing it every single day, you're just stripping them of that every day and really damaging your hair. So I'm actually really happy that I trained my hair to be washed every 3 or 4 days because it saves me a lot of time from washing it every day or every second day or whatever. With that being said, obviously it does start to get a little bit greasy after like day 2.5, 3. So to maintain it in between washes, I use a dry shampoo. I like to change them up, but the one that I'm using right now is called Play It Big by Salon Graphics, I think. I buy this at the drugstore, and it's just a volumizing dry shampoo for blonde hair. You can get it in the brunette formula as well, but obviously I use the blonde because my hair is blonde. I like this. It smells good, and it gives me lots of volume, and it really does take out that little bit of grease that I start to get. So dry shampoo is a huge savior for me. Plus, it's a plus because it does give you that added volume, so it's always a good thing to have on hand just because it gives you kind of a refresh in between washes, and then of course plumps your hair up and makes it look amazing. So this is something that I use quite often, and I like this kind, so I'll probably repurchase it after I'm done this can of it. The other two products that I use in my hair are always after I shower. I use these in damp hair. They're both leave-in conditioners. The first one that I love is called It's a 10. It's a miracle leave-in spray that is supposed to have 10 benefits. It's supposed to repair dry, damaged hair, add shine, detangle, control frizz, seal and protect hair color, prevent split ends, stop hair breakage, create silkiness, enhance natural body, and it's also a thermal protection. So I just use this mainly kind of like halfway down my hair to the ends, spray it in my hair when it's damp, and then let it do its thing, and it just kind of keeps my ends really soft and shiny and natural looking, and it doesn't weigh them down. So I like this a lot. The other one that I use is a little bit more intense. I don't use this one as often, kind of only when I feel like my hair is getting really dry and kind of distressed, I guess. This one is by Redken, and it is called the Extreme Anti-Snap Leave-In Treatment for Distressed Hair. It comes out in a pump, and it's kind of like a milky, thick formula, so I only use like a really tiny half pump of it, and I only use it like really low in the ends of my hair. I just kind of rub it through them when they're damp once again, and then let it sit overnight. And I like this one because it is a little bit thicker than that other one, but it still doesn't make my hair feel like it has like a residue sitting on it or really weighed down or anything. So yeah, these are my two favorite leave-in conditioners that I use pretty much every time I wash my hair in damp hair. The one thing that I do every single day pretty much is straighten my hair. You guys always see it straight. I rarely curl it just because it's thin, so I don't find that curls suit it just because it looks a little girlish. I don't know, it just, I never get like those perfect bombshell curls. I always get like little ringlets. So the straightener that I use every single day is by New Me. I don't know what the actual name of it is, but I will try and find it on the website for you guys and link it down below. It heats up to 410 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is pretty average for a straightener. It heats up pretty fast, which I like, and I don't find that I have to go over my hair too many times with it, which obviously causes less damage, so that's good in the long run. So that's the straightener that I use. So to go along with that, I always spray my hair with an iron guard or a thermal protection spray just to help protect it from the heat, because I do use it every day. So the one that I use is by Chi. It is just an iron guard. It says that it's paraben free, which I love. I think that's part of the reason why I bought it, but I also love how Chi products smell. I'm like addicted to the smell of them, and I just feel like it really does the job. My hair isn't fried or anything like that, and I feel like that is probably from using this every single day. So my New Me straightener and my Chi thermal guard protection spray are the two products that I use every single day to style my hair. And then after I am done straightening it, I always give it a little spray of hairspray just to hold it in place and kind of help it to stay big and I guess voluminous. The hairspray that I like to use is the L'Oreal Elnet Satin Hairspray, and I do have like a massive can of it because I go through hairspray pretty fast. So I like this stuff. It works, it holds my hair, and it doesn't make it feel crunchy, which is very important to me when choosing a hairspray. So that is what I use on a daily basis for styling my hair. Now, when I'm feeling a little bit more fancy, I will throw some curls or loose waves into my hair. So what I use when I'm going to curl my hair is my Bellamy 6-in-1 curling wand. This is just a wand that has 6 interchangeable heads that are all different sizes. I like to use the second thickest size, which is the one that I have on there right now, just because I find that it gives me the perfect size of curl for me, I guess. I also love this because it heats up so quickly. I'm really impatient when it comes to curling my hair. I do not like to sit there and hold my hair on the wand for more than like 30 seconds. So this one's perfect for me because it gets the job done really quick and I don't have to sit there waiting for it to heat up or anything like that. But obviously the best thing about it is how versatile it is, because you're basically getting like 6 curling wands in one. which is perfect because I always have friends who come over and need to curl their hair and stuff, so they can kind of choose like which size they want to use, and we can all just switch them out and get like different looks for the night, which is awesome. So I do have a coupon code for this if you guys want to check it out that I will put down below for you. It takes a lot of money off of it, so it's a great deal. So you guys can check that out if you are interested. And when I curl my hair, I just use the same thermal protection spray by Chi, and then also the same hairspray afterwards. Now the only other thing I use occasionally to style my hair is a mousse, and the only time that I use one is if I'm going to blow dry my hair. So I never use one if I'm going to let it air dry naturally, and I do try to use a blow dry like as least amount of times as I can because I know that they're really bad for your hair. But the mousse that I do like to use when I'm going to use one is by Big Sexy Hair. It is called the Root Pump Plus Humidity Resistant Volumizing Spray Mousse. So it's exactly what it sounds like. I just spray a little bit of this into the palm of my hand and then kind of work it into my roots when my hair is wet. And then I'll just go ahead and take my blow dryer and kind of brush it outwards, and then I'll blow dry it upside down for a couple of seconds, and then it just gives me a ton of volume in my hair, and then I will just curl or straighten it as usual and go on with my day. And I like that it holds all day and it gives me like a really natural feeling. It's not overly crunchy or anything like that, which, like I said earlier, is really important to me when picking my products. So that's the only other thing that I really use in my hair when I'm going to be styling it, but it's not very often. It's only when I blow dry my hair. So that brings us to the end of this very information-packed video all about my hair. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that it did answer all those questions about my hair that you guys have been asking me about. If I did miss any questions, you can definitely leave them down below or tweet them to me, and I'll try and answer those odd ones that I missed. Thank you so much for watching this. I know it was very long, and I appreciate all of you guys who stick around till the end. I love you all so much, and I'll talk to you guys all in my next video. I just use this. Oh. Okay. Good one. And it is the Root Plump. Same brand. It's by Garnier, and it is the Triple Nutrition.